All right, y'all. It is Friday night, and we are live at the Funky Uncle Lounge. My name is Soul Stew, and it is such an honor to be standing here on this Mardi Gras float, about to bring y'all another wonderful night of music. It's a special occasion this evening. Not only is it my 37th birthday, but I get to celebrate it with literally my favorite musician on the face of the earth, the legend, the uptown ruler himself, the innovator of the funk, the great George Porter Jr. in the building. He's got the Runnin Pardners with him. Chris Atkins has got some Telecasters ready to go. Terrence Houston has his drums all set up. Michael Limler's over there on the keys about to throw down, and we are just tickled to death to have him here. It's an honor, and it's always a blessing every time we get to see George share his amazing music with us. I'm as giddy as a school kid, and I'm ready to get to it. So with no further ado, let's give it up for the best to ever do it, George Porter Jr. and the Runnin Pardners. Y'all don't forget to wash your hands and stomp your feet.
By the way you look at me, it's obvious to see. And the way you've been hanging around, babe, you must be new in town. If I'm thinking that you thinking, I know you're looking for a running partner. I know you looking for a running partner. I've been watching you try to get it together. Hour after hour, you're still alone. If I'm thinking, what you thinking? That I should let it be known that I'm looking for a running partner. Said I'm looking for a running partner. Man, did you and I meet tonight, say it right, spend the night together. Whoa, I'm looking for a running partner. Whoa, I'm looking for a running partner. Oh, babe. Hey, baby. Are you talking to me? Imagine you and I meet tonight, make it right, spend the night together. Oh, together. Oh, I'm looking for a running partner. Whoa, I'm looking for a running partner. Yeah, baby. you and I. Meet tonight, make it right, spend the night together. Oh, together. Whoa, I'm looking for a running partner. Whoa, I'm looking for a running partner. Whoa, I'm looking for a running partner. Whoa, I'm looking for a ride. But now I'm wide awake. I begged and I pleaded, baby, but you wouldn't give me a break. But now I'm tired, so tired, just can't take it more. Now I'm tired, so tired, just can't take it no more. I'm gonna get my thing together. I'm gonna find me a way, and it's gonna be better. Things to change, and it ain't no more okey doke. No more okey doke. No more okey doke. No more okey doke. You can tell it to your mama. Tell it to somebody else. Just keep it yourself. Lord, just keep it yourself. No more okey doke. Now. No more okey doke. Didn't come out. Try it again. You ready, Stuart? Ow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. ready to take you home. Come and fly with me, and I'm sure you see it's time for me. Come on, girl, take a chance. Understand everything is going as I planned. Now when you've got me in the palm of your hand, say I'm so ready to be your man. Come on and fly with me, and I'm sure you see it's time for me. Take a chance. Take a chance.
Live from the Funky Uncle with the great George Porter Jr. and the Runnin Pardners. Does not get better than this, y'all. Now, normally this time of year, I'm a carnival baby. So, normally on my birthday, I'd be out at the parade route right now with my friends watching the floats go by. And then after the parade, I'd stumble into whatever club George Porter Jr. and the Runnin Pardners would be playing at and dance the night away. Since we can't do that like we used to, we still are going to channel that carnival spirit right here at the Funky Uncle and send that to you wherever you may be. We hope you're feeling that carnival New Orleans love, because I know we are, and I couldn't think of a better present than to get to spend my birthday with this fantastic group of musicians. You'll see these dollars pinned on me. That's a New Orleans tradition. Someone goes out, we pin dollars on them so they don't have to pay for drinks. And you can kind of do the same thing with the Funky Uncle. You can text the word funk, the best four-letter word that starts with an F, I think, to 36413 to help this wonderful thing we got going on here. Keep coming, keep going to the masses. Last week we had some youngsters from the School of Rock come in here, played a great show, and they covered Cissy Strut, and they nailed it, because that's a song that George will tell you most people play wrong. It was so great to see these youngsters come in here, nail that tune, and see the music that George created so many years ago being passed on to the next generation, just the way that Terrence Houston has kept it alive, just the way Chris Atkins keeps it alive, just the way Mike Limwood keeps it alive. And you can help us keep it alive as well by supporting the Funky Uncle. My dear friend Frenchie is here. He's doing a wonderful painting. It's going to look beautiful. We'll be auctioning that off. And, of course, I've got my dear friend Miss Leslie Cooper over here to tell you more about how you can help out the Funky Uncle. Hey, Leslie, you all the way over there, but I see you, baby.
Happy birthday, my darling.
Thank you so much.
So hope that all of your wishes come true. That's what
already
we're
are.
here about tonight. We are here to make wishes come true. We are here to support our musicians and our gig workers because I got to tell you, for every musician, for every band that's out of work, there's also a sound guy, a lighting tech,
The
a
rock and
guitar
roll
tech.
soldiers.
All of these guys they're out of work as well. So you can help us. And the easiest way for you to help us is to text FUNK to 36413. That's new. We just started that last week. You can still go to the
Super easy.
website, thefunkyuncle.live, but it's so much easier. Text FUNK to 36413. Do you know that we have raised $268,000 since April? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
We have helped exactly 400 of our brothers and sisters in the musicians and gig worker industry. You have helped because you, the ones listening at home, y'all are the ones that have helped us do this so far. We are in our 45th week. I cannot believe this. I'm a latecomer to this. I jumped on board in August. Y'all have been doing this since April. 45 weeks we've been doing this. School of Rock that you mentioned earlier is our sponsor this week. So be sure and go to their website. Check out those kids after this show. 7,800 views we had last week. That's right. We had 7,800 views. And I hope that we can beat that tonight. So take a moment, call your friends, share it on your Facebook page, do everything you got to do so they know to text FUNK to 36413. How's that sound?
Sounds fantastic,
All right.
Leslie. Sounding great. Everyone out there in the digital world, we hope you're having as much fun as we are. Thanks for coming to my birthday party. Wherever you may be, we're still all here together. Let's let the band get back to it. Y'all don't forget to wash them hands and stomp those feet.
Is it Mardi Gras? Yeah! Try and start a war. We're gonna do everything we could. Me, Big Chief, I'm feeling good. Me, Big Chief, I'm gonna try. Got my squad right by my side. Our whole tribe is having fun. We gonna dance till the morning come. We gonna do everything we could. Big Chief, I'm feeling good. Ow! from the front and twice from behind. Think I look a third time. Woo, woo, woo. Nice, very nice. Think I look a third time. Woo, 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 woo. Very nice. Nice. Very nice. Think I look a third time. Walking down the hall while shopping in the mall. Think I look a third time. Ow, wow, 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 wow. Nice, very nice. Think I look a third time. Woo, woo. Sometimes when the lights are low, I remember friends I used to know. Their faces always smile at me, bringing back such memories. Like Chipotina's back in '93, singing things ain't what they used. Talking about my old friend. Talking about my old friend. I know we will meet again. Talking about my old friend. It all started when I was young, all the way back around 61. I was just a kid checking in. They were doing the pop-pot and a trick bag too. At the dewdrop in, they played the whole night. Talking about my old friend. Talking about my old friend. I know we will meet again. Talking about my old friend. conversations were always deep. I learned something every time we meet. It's not like it's bringing me down. I just miss having them around. And sometimes when the lights are low, I remember Earl, Snooks, and Bo talking about my old friends. Talking about my old friends. I know we will meet again. Talking about my old friends. Talking about my old friends. Talking about my old friends. I know we will meet again. Talking about my old friends.
Love that tune. George talking about the good old days. Of course, got to toast one to the memories of Earl King, Snooks Eagle, and Eddie Bow, and all the other greats that mean so much to us here at the Funky Uncle in New Orleans and to music in general. Once again, wonderful having George Porter Jr. and the Runnin Pardners here for my birthday. Soul Stew sending big love out to y'all in the digital world, wherever you may be, straight from the heart of New Orleans. My man Frenchie's over here making some great artwork, and Leslie Cooper's over here hanging out with them. Where you at, Leslie?
I'm over here hiding in the back
I know,
with Frenchie.
You're dipping into the studio tonight.
Look who I found.
Oh, look
Hanging
at
out
this.
with me. Come
My
on over,
brother.
baby. There you go.
Well, yeah, French.
All right, look, I've been wearing your paint before, but every week, this man is here painting a live event portrait of what is going on tonight. And every week, these go out for bid, and that's on our website, thefunkyuncle.live. You can bid on these paintings and make yourself feel like you were right here, because we're going to keep bringing the music to you until you can bring the music here yourself, right? Am I right? So, Frenchie, you have been doing this since day one, right? Yep, I think that was a yes. Frenchie is... Frenchie gets caught up in the music.
Well, we speak
because
Frenchie. We speak
that's
Frenchie.
what makes his painting so wonderful.
This is the real deal, y'all.
This is the real deal. It certainly is. And I want to thank Frenchie so much for donating your time and your talent. And the people that are lucky enough to get these portraits, that are lucky enough to have a bit of Frenchie, they know how important that is. And all you have to do is you have to go to thefunkyuncle.live and click on that bid on the painting. There's also prints that are available. You can go to our store there and you can buy prints of the ones that were done for the past shows. Some of my favorites are there. And yeah, my birthday, well, it just happened, and if you feel bad for missing it, you can always send me one. You know? But okay, you know what you can do for my birthday and for Stu's birthday? Pin $1 on the Funky Uncle. I want you to text FUNK to 36413. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. I know I say it awfully fast. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. Last week we raised $5,500. $5,500. Oh, my God. That has helped so many musicians. Right now we've helped 400 of them. So please get in that number. get in where you fit in. If you can give us $5, great. If you can give me $50, better. You give me $500, I'll come knock on your door and say thank you so much. Right there on the bottom of your screen, thefunkyuncle.live, and text FUNK to 36413. Check out Frenchie's paintings. Click on that bid because it will not last to the end of the show. I got news for you. Stuart, let's get back to some music.
Let's
what do you
let the
think?
band get back to it. George, you ready to go, my man?
Let's do it.
All right, y'all. Wash your hands. Stomp your feet.
That's last.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. This little song I had the pleasure of recording well over 50 years ago. Well over 50 years ago. She's old now, y'all. Real old. Michael Nimble, y'all. Cissy got the blues, y'all. a happy song for everywhere I go. There are people laughing and dancing. Every day I see more magic happen. People joining hands, living out their plans. Let's make the most of what our lives has to offer. Sing a happy song. Sing a happy song. Don't let the madness get you. Don't let the sadness get you. Sing a happy song. Sing a happy song. Whatever is the matter, it will all get better. Sing a happy song. Sing a happy song. Sing a happy song. Oh, children. When I'm in a crowd and I hear that sound, I want to join the band and make it happen. So much better days we can get our way. The dancers sing and the singers start to dance. On this day too, it will all be blue and the surfs be singing with us. So let it happen. Please don't put me in no sleep bag. It's depressing and it's coming from a dark place. Sing a happy song, sing a song. Don't let the madness get you. Don't let the sadness get you. Sing a happy song, sing a happy song, sing a happy song. Oh, children. street. I love to walk behind you. It's so wonderful to see. The Lord has been so kind to you. I work hard all my life, and I've done lots of things. But baby, when I look at you, my heart begin to swing. I get high every time I think about you. I get high every time I think about you. Well, I get high. Beginning, I didn't know you that well, and you put me through some changes till I fell under your spell. I get high every time I think about you. I get high every time I think about you. When you come, it's like a drug. Every time I think about you, I get high. Every time I think about you, well, I get high. When I act a fool, come on, baby, let love rule. Tell me what I've got to do. I wanna give my love to you. Every time I think about you, and I'm thinking, honey, knock me down, it must be love. Every time I think about you, well, I get high. Every time we think about you, baby. So we can't get out of here without at least one more Mardi Gras song. I don't know too many Mardi Gras songs, you know, not being from here. I don't know. We're gonna do this one in B flat. We're gonna do
Aren't
one.
they all in B flat?
Huh?
Aren't they all in B flat?
I think so. You think it might be right. Well, there's one in E flat. But for the record, it's Mr. Chris Atkins over there on guitar, y'all. Mr. Terrence Houston back there on the drums. Our musical director and band leader man, Mr. Michael Limler on keyboards. I think I know this song. We'll find out. The Mardi Gras. Well, I'm going to New Orleans. We're gonna go to the Mardi Gras. When we get down there, somebody gonna show you what carnival's for. Get your ticket in your hand. We're gonna go to New Orleans. We're gonna go to New Orleans. And if you stay right there, you sure to see the Zulu King. You can see the Zulu King down on St. Claude and Dumaine. You can see the Zulu King down on St. Claude and Dumaine. If you stay right there, you sure to see the Zulu Queen. Terrence. on, Chris.
Yeah, you're right, y'all. Give it up for the legend himself, George Porter Jr. and his incredible Runnin Pardners, bringing that carnival spirit to us here in New Orleans, and we're beaming that out to the world wherever you may be. Just know that Mardi Gras is a state of mind, carnival lives in your heart, and the rest of it is just bonus. And there's nothing like hearing George play those classic old carnival tunes. It really gets me in the spirit, even if things are going to be a little bit different this year. Things are changing like the weather, but it will get better, as you heard in No More Hokey Doke. But anyways, it's been such an honor. I'm going to see if I could maybe get the band to play one more. Chris, is there anything else on the set list, or are we... do we run
We got lots more to talk
discuss
about.
it, and in the meantime, I'll throw it over to Miss Leslie Cooper over here.
We got lots more to talk about while George figures out what that last song is going to be. Yes, indeed. You were talking about Mardi Gras being a state of mind. Mardi Gras is a holiday on the calendar. I don't care what they say. It is a holiday on the calendar. Unfortunately, things the way they are, we are not able to have our Mardi Gras the way we thought we were going to. And even when we made alternate plans, those too have been redirected. Let's call it that, all right? But in doing so, that means that at least, I don't know, probably 8, 10, 12 more of our bands are not going to get to play this coming up weekend. So it's more important than ever for you to reach down in that pocket and go ahead and spend what you would have been spending for Carnival, all right? Send it to the musicians. Send it to the gig workers, because it's so easy. All you have to do is text FUNK to 36413. FUNK 36413. If you can't remember what I'm telling you, it's across the bottom of our screen. Now, look, I want to thank School of Rock for being our sponsor tonight. And if you get a chance, if you got a business and you want to get it out there, we had 7,800 views last week alone. If you've got a business, consider becoming a sponsor. There's a button there for that. Right next to that button that says bid on the painting. This Frenchy painting right here of George Porter and the Runnin Pardners. I know I want it, but I'm hoping that somebody with a lot more money than I've got is going to bid on that. So one more time, text FUNK to 36413. And you will make a lot of people's Mardi Gras season so much better. George, you figured out what one tune you're going to do?
I think I begged and pleaded with the band to do one of my favorite numbers, one that has kind of become sacred to some of us in some certain spiritual circles, of a dearly departed friend of both myself and George Porter, the late, great Colonel Bruce Hampton, who loved this song dearly and loved George Porter dearly, as do I. So... y'all take it away, and the rest of y'all, don't forget to wash your hands, stomp your feet.
Yeah!
Colonel Bruce! Baby, please, I'm begging you, baby, down on my knees. Turn on your lights, let it shine on me. Turn on your love light, let it shine on me. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Middle of the night, 'cause I'm begging you, baby, make everything alright. I'm begging you, baby, I'm down on my knees. Come on, baby, 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 please. I got to know, do you feel alright? I've got to know, do you feel alright? I got to know, do you feel alright? I got to know, do you feel alright? Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Many comes around, sailing up and down, looking for a shove in the right direction. Getting it from the top, there's nothing that you can stop. Lord knows they have found their connection. They love each other. Lord, can you see that it's true? Lord, can you see that it's true? Lord, can you see that it's true? He could pass the time around some other line, but you know he chose his place beside us. Now don't get in his way. There's nothing you can say, nothing you can do or add to. They love each other. Oh, can you see that it's true? Lord, can you see that it's true? Lord, can you see that it's true? Wash those hands. Stomp them feet.
All right. Thank y'all so much. What a wonderful night. Y'all, please give it up for George Porter Jr. and the Runnin Pardners. Bringing the funk straight from the heart of New Orleans, baby. Best to ever do it right there. Not only the best bass player to ever plug in, but one of my favorite songwriters of all time, one of my favorite singers out there. And there isn't any other band in the world I would have wanted to play right now. If the Beatles tried to come back to life, I would have been like, sorry, y'all. But anyone knows the Beatles, they're the biggest fans of George out of anyone. So I know that Paul McCartney would understand. But anyways, a wonderful night. Thanks so much to the band. Thanks so much to our crew for working so hard to make it look good and sound good as they do every week. Thanks to all George's Camp behind the scenes who made this happen. Of course, thanks to all these fine players. Mr. Chris Atkins on the guitar, the Groove Guardian, Terrence Houston on the drums, the great Mike Limler on the keys. Thanks to my brother Frenchie over there for capturing this on the canvas. Love you, brother. Thanks to Miss Leslie Cooper over here for helping out. Thanks to all y'all in the digital world. Now, don't go changing yet because George and I are going to sit down. We're going to have the band there. We're going to tell some stories. We're going to have a little chat, a little interview. If you know George, he's got about 60 years of history and stories to share. So we'll get him to open up about a few of them. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone for joining me here on my birthday this evening at the Funky Uncle.
Happy
you,
birthday,
everyone. Once again, this is Soul Stew reminding you to wash them hands, stomp your feet. Wear that mask, y'all. Happy Carnival. Who dat?
Sure, we put on a lot of really great concerts here, live from the Funky Uncle on Friday nights. But what's it really all about?
Love, appreciation, you know, just trying to give back.
Being able to actually come in here and see a great band and get to interview them, that just did so much for my soul. But honestly, just the way we've been able to help people too. Not only to book a band and say, hey, we've got a paid gig for you during COVID, but then also just to be able to call up someone I love like Johnny Vodakovich, who's brought me so much joy, and say, listen, man, I know it's a tough time, but guess what? I got a check for you tomorrow. I'm bringing it by your house. You don't even have to come outside. I'll put it under the door.
And I really can't, I don't even know how to say a big enough thank you.
Oh man, you just keep being you, brother. That's all we ask. I mean, this whole thing that we're going through, it's just a different break in the rhythm, right? You know?
Tick tock, tick tock.
One long pause.
You know, and you gotta give unconditionally, without ever expecting anything in return. Otherwise, you don't learn.
And they say, well, here's the such and such, you know, some money to help you out, you know, and I couldn't believe it. I said, whoa, all right, well, great. And so that's how I first found out about the Funky Uncle. Yeah, he gave me money on the spot, you know, which I thought was normally, you know, I never really got any assistance from nothing to the COVID. I don't know if I really applied for anything either, you know, so he gave me like $400 on the spot, and I said, wow, well, thank you, Chris. And it's a great thing that they're doing that, because I'm quite sure there's a lot of musicians up in need for a lot of things right now. And but it helped me immensely. It helped me at a time when I really needed help.
We don't just do our art just for us. We do our art, you know, just for you. We do our art for us as well. And this is therapeutic for us. So the fact that we have not been able to get together and jam out and do what we love to do the last 2 months, a month and a half.
I mean, we were playing
the day before
3 or 4 nights a week. You know, so we were seeing each other every day.
I just went through withdrawal, like cold turkey. I just put the last cigarette down and I have not picked it back up. So my nerves is bad and I'm super, super excited to hit this cigarette right now.
We come to see the music and we come to enjoy the music here, but it's so many more people it takes to bring the music. And by walking in the door here and seeing all the other people, it just made sense to me that more money needed to go to the gig work.
Yeah, the Funky Uncle Live, man. They're helping a lot of people. I really love what they're doing. It's great, man. They've helped me, man. I was actually behind on a lot of my bills coming up because of the pandemic. I was behind on my car insurance and my car note and stuff like that, rent and, you know, things of that nature. And they've stepped in and helped me, man.
This is the worst I've ever seen it for entertainers and people that assist the entertainers, like you said, the gig workers, and you know, the guys and gals who work backstage. They don't have any work either. So it's this I've never seen it this bad.
It's the big, giant, invisible hurricane that we can't evacuate away from.
No.
It really is not.
Coronavirus, no more gigs. So now we're here at the Funky Uncle.
Don't call you. That's my landlord. He's doing that thing. Yeah, tell him. I mean, I'm going to call him too, but tell him to call me up and we'll get the communication going. That's Mark. Don't forget. Yeah, we'll get it straight. Don't worry. We ain't going to forget you.
To make a living right now, basically, I'm not getting any money, enough money, you know, from the government to even mention. I mean, it's not paying all my bills. It's not paying none of my bills. I'm basically just making it off the street right now, you know, just playing on the street.
You know, this is just as good of medicine for me as it is for the ones we're helping. Christian called, and I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, I'll come paint. And he's like, oh, no, that's not what I was calling for, French. I just wanted to use your float for the background shot. And I'm like, oh, but it's cool if I come paint, right?
My favorite parts about doing this thing at the Funky Uncle is that a lot of, when bands come in, this is the first time they've played together in a while, and it's just like a certain fire that comes back. Like, so you can feel everyone, you know, it feels good to be back together. So it seems like y'all were really, you know,
we was ready.
Personifying that tonight.
Hey, you got to get it in, man.
You were, exactly. It felt like we were just in a packed, sold-out club.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Now, look, a lot of people don't know. It's weird, though. You know, like, you're pouring, you know, your heart and soul out. But it's weird, man, because nobody's there. It's like, it's just the camera. So we're just looking like...
And our crew just like,
right. When I found out about the assistance that Fridays from the Funky Uncle gives to musicians and gig workers, I thought that was really an incredible thing. I came home one night and I found my oak tree here had dropped a limb that was so big that I couldn't even reach around it. And it destroyed my neighbor's fence and into her backyard. So that put the dental surgery on hold. And then someone said, well, wait, how about that Funky Uncle thing? Don't they give assistance? I mentioned it to somebody, and within 2 days, they said, this is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to help our folks. And I became a very proud recipient of assistance from the Funky Uncle.
And we're proud to be a part of this community. You know, this isn't the first time something like this is happening. Our fellow musicians, you know, they may start a fund, you know, if somebody, we try to make sure that we help each other.
Absolutely.
And we're a community of band members, we're a community of musicians, and we are a community of people here. You know, we see things happening around the city, around the world. I have to be true to my own experience. I love my city. I roll with my city.
Comes through loud and clear.
Yo, man, Willie Green, just let you know, Fridays from the Funky Uncles. We want you to be down there and kick ass with the Funky Uncles, yo. Yo, baby.
The Funky Uncle has really, like, I've seen it help a lot of musicians, including myself, like, just in the nick of time. Like, having groups to come together to really take care of the artists that kind of make sure New Orleans is what it is, like, has been really helpful.
Talk about lights, camera, action. There's like no gigs, no festivals. There's, you know, instability everywhere. There's one thing that we can control as a musician. Play your music as best you can.
And when you have programs like this,
absolutely,
the Fridays from the Funky Uncle, that have pulled together to not take care of just you guys.
It takes a village to play music.
It does. It does. Our stage hands, our lighting techs, our video techs, our sound guys.
I'm a musician. I got to find a way to play. And if there's no other avenues for me to play, I'm going to create them. But it just allows me, the bottom line, to write a song, perform a song, touch somebody, bring people together.
So you enjoy coming to the shows? And seeing
definitely. Music's our lifeblood. And I was getting pretty antsy before that. We live for our music, and not having it for such a long time was tough. It really was.
And really, these people are gems. They're living legends who get really no support any time of the year. So
right now with COVID the way it is, a lot of these people are really, really struggling. So we're really trying to reach out to the streets, find these guys in their natural habitat, and help them out because somebody's got to.
It's a massive honor to be part of making magic, music, medicine out of New Orleans. You got to give without expecting anything in return, and that's what's happening. And you know, New Orleans, the importance of the New Orleans music, putting out the love and the light. It goes back to Louis Armstrong after World War II, and they sent him all around the world to introduce jazz to everybody. You know, I mean, in a way, I feel we're doing that here in the Den in a spiritual way every Friday. And without having to leave the country, we're putting out that magic music medicine.
It may not be some groundbreaking amount that you can retire on, but you know, a little bit of help goes a long way in these times. Without Funky Uncle's help, I would not be able to have put the work into my horns and have them back into good working condition. You know, everybody go to thefunkyuncle.live and see if you can get a little help.
If you know a musician or a gig worker in need of assistance, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to thefunkyuncle.live and click on that donate button. Help make a difference in the lives of those that make such a big difference in ours.
Fridays from the Funky Uncle interviews Tyson Van Landingham. Second sticks.
I'm gonna go hoodie.
You're going hoodie on me?
I'm gonna go hoodie.
Okay.
Why, it doesn't look good? You don't like
You
the
look
hoodie?
like an Ewok.
What? I look like an Ewok? Is that what you're saying? Because of the gray hair.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting here at the Funky Uncle. My name is Soul Stew, and this is one of my favorite parts of the evening. After a great night of music, I get to sit here with the musicians, have a little chat, talk about music, talk about, you know, the state of the world, how we're all getting through things. And tonight it's extra special because I have one of my favorite groups in the world, George Porter Jr. and the Runnin Pardners. Such an honor to have him here, and I don't even know where to start. George has 60 years of a history of New Orleans music, probably more than that actually under his belt. So Lord knows he's got some great stories to share. But we're just going to start at the beginning. Mr. Porter, first of all, how are you? Thank you so much for being here, George.
It's wonderful to be here, and happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you
Happy
so much.
birthday, yeah.
So the Runnin Pardners have a new album coming out called Cry for Hope, right?
Crying for Hope. yes.
Crying for Hope. So
Crying.
the single just came out, I believe?
The single was released on my birthday.
Nice.
On December 26th.
December 26th. Right? Absolutely. And so the new album's going to be coming out in the next few months?
The next few weeks.
Few weeks.
Hopefully,
Wonderful.
Hopefully. I believe that they have been discussing, talking how they're going to do it. You know, it's the vinyl part is going to be like 3
EPs?
You know, that's like, well, what you call it, 3 vinyl records.
Oh, yeah, 3 actual.
But on the 4th side, it's supposed to be like some artwork.
Oh, yeah, and etching
Yeah.
on there. Cool.
So it's and they've been, you know, going back and forth on what
it's gonna
artwork's going to be on the back. They was talking about a nude picture of me. Oh, did I say nude? Oh,
Nude or
I'm
nude?
sorry.
Nude.
I was going to be moving off the shelves, George.
One of those 70s. Those 70s album covers.
Well, George, something that I've always loved and admired about you and your musical career is that you always keep moving forward. I mean, you laid down the history of the music that we all cherish here in New Orleans and the foundation of what everyone who's come after you, but yet you've always continued to write new songs, put new bands together. You know, after the Meters, you had the Joyride, you had the Partners, you were playing with Snooks, everyone. And so it's great to hear a new album coming out. And I kind of like to talk about how this particular lineup of the Runnin Pardners came about, because I know this is a band you've had for a while, so maybe we could introduce some of the guys in the band. You can talk about how did you and Mr. Limler link up here?
Well, Michael came to the band through John Gras when I had the Big Horn band.
Right.
And Alan Toussaint, between Alan Toussaint and Harry Connick Jr., it took half the horn section. And so John, I kind of like threw my hands up in the air and said, what I'm gonna do now, and John goes say, well, give me a couple of weeks, I believe, and he went off in a couple of weeks, and then he called me up and told me, say, we'd like to try this out, come and let's do a rehearsal with just me, him, and I met Michael Limler, and he bought, and basically between him and Mike, they worked out those horn things, but not sounding like, keyboards playing horn parts, those fake horn parts,
Yeah.
And it worked really well. But Mike's been in the band, about 26 years?
I was going to say, Mike, it's been a while. So, Mike, before you started playing with George, I know you've been gigging in New Orleans forever. And what kind of projects were you working on leading up to that?
Mostly jazz. I grew up mostly like a jazz pianist, doing all the clubs in town as just jazz. Funk was not on my radar.
Yeah.
And I did cover bands and pop stuff and singer-songwriter stuff too, but mostly jazz piano. And then I think that's one of the things George liked about me when I came to the Runnin Pardners. It was it was a different sound for that band.
Absolutely.
And feeling, music, because his solos was solos that, that was, kind of solos that I kind of used to encourage the horn players to, take a bebop solo, and stuff like that. And he was playing these jazzy solos, which I enjoyed. I mean, I said, oh yeah, this is gonna work for me,
Absolutely. And Mike, what's it like playing with the Runnin Pardners with a little bit fuller lineup than it was just when you're in the Porter Trio, which is you, George, and Terrence?
Yeah, it's. I mean, having Chris with us, it's everything just goes to the next level. It's like this, with the trio with just me as the lead instrument. It's so much I can push with just the piano.
Right.
We try, and I sometimes think I get there, but the guitar just
have another instrument
yeah.
Nice.
And it's a different repertoire pretty much. It's like we try to keep things. We'll repeat some of the same songs with both bands, but try to do them a little fresh and a little different with the trio compared to Runnin Pardners.
Unique sets for each
and Runnin
band.
Pardner, I mean it's an established band that's been around.
At this
yeah,
point.
it's like you can't mess with it too much.
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember was it 11 years ago or something, I went down to the Blue Nile and caught Mr. Terrence Houston playing with a bunch of young lions killing it. And then a few years later, you ended up getting hooked up with George. And now, Terrence, you've got a couple bands of your own projects going on. And, man, first of all, say hello to the people out there. Terrence Houston, the Groove Guardian over here.
It's T. Houston, Terrence Houston, the Groove Guardian. You know what I'm saying? Up in here kicking it with George. Been rocking with George since December 12th, 2009, man. It's been a while. That was my first gig with George at Rockin' Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And that's when we had the big band. You know what I'm saying? It was the big horn section. It was just like an amazing experience from then on. And then, from Runnin Pardners to Funky Meters.
So you held down the chair in the Funky Meters for a while as well.
Funky Meters. Started with Funky Meters in 2014 and played with them up until Art retired in 2017. And then, been
so
rocking.
What was it like? I mean, growing up here in New Orleans with the Meters, obviously, just the upper echelon, the pantheon of funk. What was it like playing with those songs with George and RT on the same stage?
I mean,
just a young man.
It was a dream come true, man. I mean, I got this story that I don't really tell many people, but it was like I was in 8th grade, and I came down here for Mardi Gras, and I heard Mardi Gras Mambo, and it got in my soul. So it's like,
nice.
It's like the end of the year. Well, not really the end of the school year, but kind of almost the end of the year to me. Yeah. But I'm in band class. I'm singing Mardi Gras Mambo, and I just couldn't stop because it was my spirit. And it was this band teacher. Her name was Miss Maple. She say, sing Mardi Gras Mambo one more time or put you out. And it was like she triple dared me. I was like, I looked around. I gave everybody that look. I was like,
oh, it's on.
Mardi Gras Mambo. And she put me out, man, for singing. And, and it comes around. Yeah, it comes around full circle. And it's like, now I play with the man that sang Mardi Gras Mambo. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a beautiful story. Thanks for
yeah,
sharing
that was
with
crazy,
us.
man. I never thought anything like that would happen in my life.
That's awesome. Hey, enjoy music. Of course, over here to Terrence's right, I guess one of the newest additions to the Runnin Pardners, but you've been here a couple years out, Mr. Chris Atkins on guitar.
Hey, what's up? How you doing, man?
Chris, how'd you get linked up with George? I first think I saw you play, was it been 4 or 5 years now?
A couple of years, not.
About 3 or
I don't know, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly.
You fit in so well, I feel like it's been longer.
Yeah, well, you were a sub for Brent
Yeah, I
for
subbed in
a
for
good
Brent,
while before you joined the
on a
band.
little 3-date run, and a couple years ago, and it went well and stuff. And then I would fill in for him from time to time. And when he retired a couple years ago at Jazz Fest, started playing with George, and he asked me in the band. So it's been like you said, a dream come true. You know, super fun. You know, an honor and all that.
And what was your musical background growing up, Chris?
I grew up playing blues. You know, guys like Buddy Guy and BB were my heroes. You know, when I was a kid, and grew up playing blues and stuff like that, and then expanded into funk and jazz and all kinds of things. You know.
Nice. Good to have you in the storied lineup of the Runnin Pardners.
Oh yeah, it's great to be here, man.
It's really become like an institution these days.
Yeah, some people call it the School of Rock. This is the
Oh,
School
yeah.
of George Porter
Yes.
Jr.
Yeah. Into that.
Yeah.
Exactly. One of the finest players in the town have come out of this band. John Gros, Terrence Higgins. I mean, so many great players.
So, this is one of my favorite things, stories I have about how Chris coming in the band was, we have been, what it was, I went somewhere and Chris, how did that, was that Georgia somewhere, and Denise, you rode back to the airport with Denise or something?
Oh yeah.
And he told Denise, he said, man, I wish Porter would play some more of his songs, you know, because it was sort of like he was getting bored playing the same songs, you know, and he wanted me to reach deeper into my bag.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know he knew about that bag.
Well, I do, bro.
So on one day in the van, we riding to a gig, and so I say, Chris, why don't you write the set list, you know, for tonight? And he said, really? I said, yeah, man, why don't you write the set list? So he wrote the set list, and it was like one of those one-show things, you know. We was going to play like 75 minutes and be done. And Chris wrote a 12, 13-song set list, and he passed it, passed the paper up, and I looked at the paper, and I handed it to Mike, and Mike turned around and said, we don't know these songs.
And then your songs.
We hadn't played these in 15 years. Give us a moment.
We're going to have to learn all this stuff, bro. It was killing, you know. So we had to learn these tunes, you know. It was good, you know.
Well, George, in lieu of the new album coming out, and of course all the other classics that you've given to the New Orleans canon, what is your songwriting process like?
Well, my songwriting process is probably more to do with me playing my bass, you know, just acoustic. And it's usually my acoustic bass, you know, and thoughts come through my head. So, and a lot of times I put it on a telephone, you know, I record it on my voicemail, and then I upload it, you know, to the computer, and I'll send it to Mike. And Mike would take and basically grid it, you know, and kind of put me in meter, because, you know, usually when I'm playing by myself, my tempos get all kind of weird. Yeah. And then he sends it back to me with all of the pieces, you know, and then, you know, we do the FaceTime thing, you know, and we talk about it, you know. I mean, this record, Crying for Hope, was all done in the cloud. And
all of us in our own home studios. So one piece and then another piece, and then like sending it back and forth to each other, and
workshopping it together.
And it all came together great.
It was crazy for me because most of the tracks that I did, it was just bass. I just played to the bass. But it all turned out nice, though. I really like how it turned out.
It's a good record.
I can't wait to hear it. And honestly, George, this is kind of different from how y'all were writing songs back in the day, right? Remember you saying one time with the meters, y'all would just kind of get together and jam, and like a groove would come, and if you all liked it, you'd lock in you would kind of make a song out of it, right?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of the original Meter stuff was, and almost sort of like what was going on today with the Porter Trio, is that, you know, Porter Trio goes to the gig and we'll just start playing.
Yeah, y'all just explore.
And then, you know, I would listen to the gig, and then pass it on to Mike and say, man, this is something we need to revisit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when we first started the Trio project, you know, we came to my studio and all three of us sit down, and you know, and we docked it into some stuff that we had been jamming on the gigs. Nice. You know, well, the Meters wrote like that too. Most of them, you know, we was in the early days, almost all of our songs was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah. But we had a 4-hour gig to play.
Jam those out a little bit.
We had to do something else, you know, and so that's how, you know, a lot of stuff. The Look a Pie Pie album got wrote, you know.
Wasn't that the one you were in the car and
the Look a Pie Pie? You know, the Look a Pie Pie album the record came from a blown piston in our station wagon.
Yeah.
And we coming down the highway. Coming down. I think that's 85 coming south, on our way to Atlanta to redo the album, do the record.
Yeah.
And you know, we blow a piston. You know, and you know, so the car was doing. And that's what it was doing for 100 miles or more.
It's catchy.
So Zig started beating on the roof of the car, and then all of a sudden we started singing "Bouncy Pound Pound, Bouncy Pound Pound," and we got to the studio, and Leo wrote the lick, and that was the song.
That was a tune.
Classic.
A song that I love that you play with the Pardners and the trio that I guess fairly new within the past, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years or so was Talk About My Old Friends, that you did tonight.
Yeah.
That was off the record you did a couple years ago with the trio. Great record. And I love that song because you talk about Eddie Bo and Earl King and Snook Sieglin and all you learned from those guys. And I mean, I can hear your memories coming back to you, and it kind of reminds me of growing up and watching you and Johnny V play and RT and all these cats. But as far as like the old days, like pre-Meters, like what kind of gigs were you playing? Who were your bass heroes when you were growing up?
Well, I had one bass hero that turned out to be George French.
French.
But the idea is the guy who my bass mentor was a guy named Benjamin Francis. He called him Papi. Uh-huh. And, you know, and I thought that Papi was, you know, he was the thing, you know, that was what that's the bass player I want to play, you know. And come to find out later on that he thought that George French was the guy.
Nice.
So I always tell everybody that, you know, George French was my teacher by proxy. You know, because, you know, I mean, you know, Papi was very all into the early Earl King stuff. Uh-huh. And that's George French playing bass on it.
Oh, George played bass on it.
So, you know, George French was a piece of the fabric of New Orleans music. He's like the unsung hero.
For sure. Absolutely.
And my good friend.
Yeah, great guy.
Too, yeah.
Shout out to the whole French family, you know. And one thing, Snook Sieglin was one of the only people I've ever seen give you shit on stage.
Absolutely.
Damn it, Paul, to play.
Absolutely.
I love seeing you play with
Gave
Snook.
everybody shit.
He wouldn't give you songs to learn. Yeah. He just start playing. You either learn the song right there or look silly because he's gonna start calling the changes to you.
Right.
B flat. E flat, C, and he's singing the song and playing the chord changes and calling the changes. Yeah. F minor.
You know,
pay attention, Porter.
There was one night at Rock and Bowl. I guess John Gros was doing it most of the time with y'all at Rock and Bowl, and he couldn't do it one night. So you got me to come on the gig, and I don't think Snooks realized it was me and not John. So all through the gig, he was like, "Come on, Johnny, come on, Johnny." Like, take a solo. It was like, all right. Ever since then, Russell called me
Johnny.
Johnny.
Nightwatch Johnny.
Man, I could sit here and talk to y'all for 3 hours easily. The crew's getting tired. They've been working all day. But before we go out, in light of, RT passed away the past couple years ago, you have a story about maybe the first time you ever played with Art, George?
He hated me. First time I played with Art, I was a guitar player, and I was a rhythm guitar player. And we went on this gig called the Mass Lounge out in Gentilly. It was a bowling alley, and the bandstand was up behind the bar. And RT would play his piano things and he'd do his sing. And then time for a solo, he'd turn to me and say, "Take a solo." And I say, "Oh no, I don't solo. I don't solo, bro. I'm a rhythm guitar player." I knew all the songs, but I didn't know I didn't do solos. So at the end of the night, on his way driving me home, he told me, he said, "Bro, you ain't never gonna have to worry about me calling you again. You're the worst guitar player."
Wow.
The worst guitar player I ever seen.
So what was it like when he finally heard you on bass? Was it like, all right?
Well, he came saw me play with Irvin Bannister at the Cindy Club, and he told, at the end of the gig, he walked up to me and said, "Now that's the instrument you ought to play. You want a gig?"
That's awesome. That's so
he offered me the gig to come play with him and Leo at the Nightcap.
At the Nightcap, right? Uptown off Louisiana, right?
Yes.
Yes. Nice.
Louisiana and
Can you imagine if he never made it to that gig to hear you?
Right?
Like,
Oh, my God.
The landscape of music
world
from
would
New
be the
Orleans
same.
would be like, oh, God, could you imagine what we'd be living in?
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
just because of RT, like, the music he's influenced and created that spawned everything from Galactic to
Yeah, the Beatles, the Stones were listening to the music they were doing.
everything.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, all that. Yeah. Well, amen to that. Yeah, like I said, I think all the modern bands are definitely standing on the shoulders of the work that y'all did and the history y'all made together for sure.
It was fun playing with those guys. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, of course, drink one to the memory of RT and Snooks and Mac and all of them tonight. But I'm going to let the crew here get going because I could rap with y'all for hours. But I know y'all just played your hearts out. Everyone's probably getting tired. But I got to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. George Porter Jr. and the Runnin Pardners. Michael Lemler on the keys. Terrence Houston on the drums. Chris Atkins on the guitar. Their new album, Crying Out for Hope.
Oh, Crying for Hope.
Crying for Hope. I'm sorry. Crying for Hope is coming soon. You can see it on George's website and all that. Don't miss his Monday night streams where George digs up old shows that they've played. He goes and listens to them with you, talks about the jams. It's great. Highly recommend it. And thank y'all so much for coming to the Funky Uncle. Can't wait to have you back.
Happy birthday,
man.
Happy birthday, my
Thank
friend.
y'all. Much love. Funk's in the house. Thank y'all for tuning into the Funky Uncle. Thanks for joining me on my birthday. This is Soul Stew saying peace out. Don't forget to wash your hands and stomp on your feet.
Yeah.